Welcome, everyone, to the Horrorcast, episode 45. Shit! I,
Gee,
I am your host, Matrix Lord 212, and I am with Connor Farley. What's up, Connor?
Shit.
What's up, David?
it's Dark Cinema. Shit.
What's up, Mike D?
I'm telling you, Michael Myers is here!
That's right, we're talking about Michael Myers, and we were just having this big discussion off air about Rob Zombie's first one and god-awful second one. And what the hell was he thinking when he made the second one with unicorns and like fucking like the mother's like, what is she, a fucking angel?
No,
Is she an angel? Or like, I don't understand that. And
let's not forget the icing on the cake where he made Michael Myers talk.
I mean, and didn't he kill Machete? Didn't he kill Machete?
Danny Trejo?
Yeah, he killed Machete, right?
Yeah, I think Machete
He
was
had a beard. He looked like one of the next one lined up before the Ultimate Warrior for Hulk Hogan. That's what he looked like.
Well, it was nice to finally see Danielle Harris, like, without her top on.
Daniel Harris is like probably got the record now of more Halloween movies than Jamie Lee Curtis. So, and she's going to be in the new one, by the way, which is fantastic. So, I don't know how that's going to happen, but it's going to happen. Yeah. I do have to say, and this is my opinion only, nothing beats the first Halloween, okay? And the second one, I like it a lot too, but 1 and 2 will always be like my favorites. 1 mainly, okay?
I totally agree. Again, I will say I do like Season of the Witch, but I judge Season of the Witch based on its own unique film. Again, a lot of people don't get, like, a lot of people slam it because it doesn't have Michael Myers, but when you look at it as its own unique film, it actually is pretty good.
I couldn't agree with David more. He's dead on correct with that.
Yeah, I do like 3 also. But one thing that 4 gets high marks for, right? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Mike D, but the end scene, when Loomis is looking at the stairway, right, and little Danielle Harris has got the knife, like she stabbed the mother, and he's like, no! And he goes to shoot her.
I like Halloween 4.
Yeah!
I like Halloween 4. I like it too. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. That was the greatest shit. I loved 4. Absolutely. 5, that was cool, but when you got to 6 was just god awful.
Well, if you saw the producer's cut, it's a totally different film, and it's quite good.
Are you talking about
the one with the stones that they threw down?
The Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah, definitely go with the producer's cut on that because you have more Loomis, more Michael, definitely in the producer's cut of the film.
Yes, and
Paul Rudd did it.
Yeah, and it's got great atmosphere. It's really.
Who did it?
David was saying Paul Rudd, the actor Paul Rudd that's Ant-Man, is in it. He's like one of the main characters.
Oh, he's the one that stutters?
He's Tommy Jarvis. Or not Tommy Jarvis. Damn it. I got the wrong franchise.
Jesus, Frank 13, yeah.
He's damn it, what's that kid's name?
He's the guy that stutters that was in love with...
I can't, let me see it, let me look him up.
Jamie and
I'm gonna... Oh, man.
I know. He's the guy that's... Okay, when he was a kid, he started... Wait. In the 5th one, he started, and he liked Jamie, and then he grew up, I guess, right?
Was that
Tommy Doyle.
Tommy Doyle. See, I got the Tommy part right.
Yeah.
All these Tommies are in these films.
Right. Tommy Doyle, right.
Yeah, he's good in the film. The producer's cut's like a way better film, like David was saying. Like,
was that the one that you'd only get in comic shops, or was that one released afterwards? Is that the one where they throw the stones down?
Well, it was
mystical stones.
That's the one with the druids, and they get into this whole thing about Michael Myers being a member of a cult. But
was there a cut scene where he threw the stones down and Michael Myers could not walk over the stones? Or was that something else? I love that one.
Well, that sounds like the same film. I don't know if it's the cut that we're referring to, but I don't know if it's the producer's cut or the original cut. But
there was another cut, right, that sucked, where is a different alternate ending, and the guy freaking throws these mystical stones down, and it was like so retarded, and it was no anticlimax. It was like nothing. It was just like.
Well, no, the
what?
original ending had where Loomis got Tommy Doyle and the lead heroine out, and
right.
he was going to go back in.
Correct.
And you just hear him scream, and you see like
Yes.
Michael Myers' mask or something on the ground.
Yeah, like he was stabbing him to death or something. Like supposedly Loomis is supposed to die in that one, and he actually died shortly after that. Correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Or while filming,
Yeah,
he died.
while filming, because they were actually, I heard rumors that they were going to have they had an actual ending planned, but then they
Yes.
had to shoot around the footage that they had.
Correct.
Which, God rest his soul, he was probably the best Loomis, way better than Rob Zombie's Halloween, because you definitely
Yeah.
feel. Now, just looking at Loomis as a character, you actually feel that he tried his best to do for Michael what he could.
Right.
But he recognizes how evil he is. And I think what was it, Halloween 1 or Halloween 2, when he gives that brilliant speech about, like, when he first met Michael. I'm trying to remember which one it was. I think it was
the first one.
It was Halloween 1.
I looked in his eyes. Pure
Devil's
evil.
Eye.
The devil's eyes. Yes.
Brilliant speech.
Let me tell you something. The guy that played him in the Rob Zombie thing,
Malcolm McDowell.
sucked.
Yeah.
Sucked doggy doo-doo, because that
Well,
was just terrible.
They took the characters and they tried to do a different angle with those characters. But I mean, like Christopher Lee was originally going to play the role before Donald Pleasance. John Carpenter approached him, or he was in contention to play the character. But I think maybe, I mean, I have to like really like stop and try and understand why some people would actually make such an absurd assertion that the Rob Zombie films are better than the Carpenter first two films.
There's no fucking way in hell there's no way they could ever be better at all.
I can tell you why. Because some
Fucking
people,
ever.
because the new generation is more obsessed with the blood and gore aspect of horror than the actual atmosphere.
Let me tell you something. Every movie's the same with the blood and gore, but you need a fucking story like the first one, where it was actually story-driven. And you're like, this is fucking awesome. And then the second one, too, I mean, I don't like the second one as much as the first one, but I still liked it a lot. I remember watching Movie Time, which was what E became afterwards. And I remember watching Donald Pleasance talking like it was an interview while he was filming 6, you know. And I always loved the Halloween franchise, and I couldn't wait to see it. But then when I did see it, I was like, oh, this sucks. It was like an Alien 3 for me. It just destroyed my whole. And what made it even worse was the fucking disaster. Excuse my language, but this is the horror cast. But what was even effing worse was the fucking stupid ass title H2O bullshit with Jamie Lee Curtis. Where yes, I'm glad Jamie Lee Curtis came in, but they erased what happened in Halloween 4, 5, and 6. Like that never happened. And she didn't leave a daughter behind, and she didn't die in a car accident, and I was pissed off about that.
I will say H2O kind of. I have a soft spot for H2O because it has probably one of the best cameo and Easter eggs ever. Because there was a scene where I believe, was it Jamie Lee Curtis's mother, the one from Psycho, is
Janet Leigh. Yes.
And she is driving the same car with the same music from Psycho. So, okay, regardless of your feelings about the actual plot of H2O,
they did have some good kills in it too. They did have some good kills in it too. And the funny thing was, in H2O, they're watching Scream, and in Scream, they're watching Halloween, which is, you know, both the same company, because they got the rights to Halloween afterwards. I believe it was Dimension. So that was pretty interesting. Again, they did have some cool deaths in Halloween H2O, but the ending pissed me off that she would be able to chop off his head, because this isn't like Jason, okay? Once you chop,
retconned it.
once you chop. No, I actually knew it wasn't Michael Myers because
Yep.
I knew it. You probably knew it too, Mike D, right away. That wasn't him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was pissed off. I knew it wasn't him, but and then when they changed the mask too, I wasn't. I mean, I like the original. I don't know. I never understood why when they make these movies, right? Some effing person comes in and says, "We need a new Halloween mask. We need a new Scream mask." Why the fuck do you need a new mask? Why can't you use the original fucking thing? Why not? What, because you HD TV? It was, I mean, when you start changing shit is when stuff starts falling apart. Especially with the Scream TV series, which I'm going to get into afterwards. But everybody, too many people stuck their hands in Halloween and tried to fucking change it, okay? You tried to make it like some type of scientific explanation of this chemical that they injected him with that made him super strong and super this and kept coming back to life. Then you tried to throw the fucking mystical shit with the fucking monks and this one, who freed him? Oh my God, some fucking crazy ass 7-foot tall bastard freed his ass in the precinct and he killed everybody. And then you don't know what the fuck was happening with Michael Myers at one point in time. You don't know if it was just he was coming back, or there's a fucking cult of Michael, which what the F was that, or these stones, or the drug.
We're hopping all around. I mean, I think that when Halloween 4 came out, it was 1988, and then Halloween 5 was 89. And then what happened was that there was like a long span of years that went by before Halloween 6, Curse of Michael Myers, came out, which was 1996, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I think that's right.
It was a dead period of horror. There was a dead period of horror.
I believe they were going to continue with the Cult of the Thorn storyline, right. But then what they did was they were like, well, let's just get a fresh start, because they were able, it was actually the 20th anniversary, or the 30th or whatever, from the original Halloween film. So they wanted to get Jamie Lee Curtis
to come
back.
H2O, yeah.
So they're like, it's going to be too convoluted to pick up this Cult of the Thorn storyline. So we're going to just pick up from where Jamie Lee Curtis's last movie was, which was Halloween 2. And I actually like H2O. I don't like the ending, but I like the movie. I think it perfectly captures that time of the year. I think that it's a solid horror film if you're looking for like a slasher type film.
I hated it.
I fucking
hated it.
I didn't like that tacked on ending though about the decapitation. They should have had something happen where he just kind of disappears into the night and she saves herself somehow and he's gone again, just like in the first film.
Now let me ask you a question, Mike D.
Yeah.
The next one after that, did that remind you of Terminator 2?
I don't act like there's any movies that have happened after Halloween H2O. That Halloween Resurrection movie, I'd rather stick my balls in the door and slam them shut.
Right.
The only reason that Jamie Lee Curtis actually went into Halloween 7, that they begged her to come back in to actually take a prominent role in it. She said, I will only come in this film if you kill off my character.
Right, the first 5 minutes.
Now, in all seriousness, Halloween Resurrection, it's a bad film, but it would be a lot less worse if they kept whoever that fucking rapper asshole out of the movie.
Jesus.
If they kept him, yes, and Tyra Banks, none of this kung fu Michael Myers shit, fuck that. And I mean, they should have just kept it as the kids doing like a point of view sort of film where they're shooting a reality show, and it would have been a lot better. It would have been like out of a 10, it would have been more like a 4 instead of like a 2.
Right, but then they turned him into Freddy Krueger because they burned him. And then when they opened up the body bag at the end, he's still alive, but he's burned like Freddy Krueger, which is like stupid.
Well, here's the interesting thing that
he was already burned like Freddy Krueger in the second movie.
Don't you recognize the fact that when people actually put in the effort and continue the storyline from a specific point, like the film actually does well. Like, look at Curse of Chucky. It was a direct-to-video release. Everyone thought it was going to suck because it's direct-to-video, and granted, my own opinion of the Chucky films, I thought Bride of Chucky was, it was okay. It wasn't good, but it was, at least the comedy was all right. Seed of Chucky was just downright terrible. I still hold that the first 2 Child's Play films are without a doubt the best, but I think whoever made Curse of Chucky definitely really respected the franchise and wanted to bring it back to what it was. And I really hope that whoever's working on this new Halloween respects the franchise and, again, wants to bring it back to its roots, because I think that's something we need at this point.
Well,
we don't need more demonic possession films. We don't need lazy jump scares. We need horror films with atmosphere, something that films like Halloween and Nightmare on Elm Street and even the original Child's Play, something they were able to give us.
we're in a time of our lives right now where fans of our movies are supposedly doing those movie sequels. And there's this interesting phenomenon that's happening lately, past couple of years, where writers that take over the franchise, they kind of have the right to say, hey, I just took over Superman Returns, and I'm just going to use this as an example, and Superman 1 and 2 happened, and 3 and 4 never happened. We're having this trend that's confusing the shit out of people, but it's happening, where this is what happens. They also have the guy that's doing Alien is going to discount, not have Alien 3, Alien 4, okay? And they just pick and choose what's important to them. Same thing like Terminator. Like the hell with Terminator 3, hell with Salvation, we have 1 and 2 basically, okay? So in this case, the new Halloween, I don't know, supposedly everything counts, but I believe the last Halloween, which somehow they're going to not count Rob Zombie, but do a type of Rob Zombie, but connected to the old series, and Daniel Harris is probably going to be like a main character, and I don't know if they're going to make her be like the daughter again, because didn't she die in the well, some other actress I think played her in 6, right, Mike D? And she died. I think she was pregnant with.
Yeah, it's
Michael's
the same
baby.
same character, different actress.
Right, which that made no sense too, because the well, whatever. Somehow they say that this is going to be basically a sequel to the old ones. I don't know how, but it is.
They're gonna fuck it up. You know,
I know.
I got to a point to where I am so happy living in a world where, as far as my horror tastes are concerned, like nothing past the 1980s has occurred. Like I watched My Bloody Valentine,
Yeah.
The Prowler, The Funhouse, Dawn of the Dead, Terror Train, the first like half of the Friday the 13th Paramount franchise.
Have you seen?
And I'm happy.
Have you ever watched the extended cut of the old My Bloody Valentine?
Yes, it's on Blu-ray. I've got that. They added in some of the extra gore effects. But like Joe, My Bloody Valentine, like it's been a favorite of both of ours.
Oh my god!
And
I'm gonna buy that. That's what I really want.
I tried watching that when I was younger. I just couldn't get through it. I couldn't.
No, man, I'm saying I'm probably gonna buy that for myself for Christmas.
So could you not get through it because it was scary, or you didn't like it?
No, it's just at that time I was young. I was young and I couldn't handle the blood and gore when I was younger.
I gotcha.
Oh wow.
Well, see, I saw it when I was like in first grade, and I remember watching it. It was one of the first VHS tapes that we rented. And I was like 3 feet away from the television watching it, and the rest of my family were like behind me, like back on the furniture, the couch and stuff, like hiding their eyes. So I was like into horror at a young age, but My Bloody Valentine's like one of my favorite films in the horror genre.
Classic.
My father took me to see everything. I was like so little. I was watching Friday the 13th, Part 3, Part 4 in the theaters. I saw them on TV. He made sure I watched it on TV. I wasn't scared of anything. I think the only thing that freaked me out was The Exorcist a little bit back in the day. That and that was the other movie. Don't be afraid of the dark. That was weird. Yeah, and there was another movie.
The original, not the remake.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. The remake sucks. Yes. Yes.
Remake sucks.
Yes. But yeah, I saw everything, and I loved everything, and I gotta say, like, I get worried when once we did that horror kiss, and I found out that news that Leatherface was gonna be like a supermodel kid with girlfriends.
In high school, yeah.
I mean, you probably like shit right there when I told you that, because it was like, oh my God, hell froze over and now the world's gonna end. Because I'm like, what? Because he was always like that, wasn't he? He was always disfigured. He was always a freak, Leatherface. He wasn't like
They're trying to rewrite history. It's
Like-
ridiculous.
Well,
Like,
the thing is, you know, I have a feeling that it's just the Hollywood executives are sitting behind their desk. They're looking. They're like, okay, well, we're out of ideas. So what are we gonna do today? They look at and they're just probably flipping through channels and they see the old versions come on. They're like, oh, this is terrible. We can do it better. We need more blood, more gore. We need to make it trendy with modern audiences. That's what people want. And then they get shocked when the audiences hate it.
But I don't understand, how is that company doing 2 Texas Chainsaw Massacres at the same time? They're doing a sequel to the one we just saw, the last one, right? And at the same time, they're doing a prequel. Like, who gives a F about the prequel? Because you're turning it into Twilight. Like, I don't know.
I feel
Why?
prequels don't really work when it comes to horror movies. It's like, I think, yeah, some people say like I heard some of my friends say to me like really the only one that they'd really be interested in is Nightmare on Elm Street one. Like,
I hated that.
no, not the remake.
Okay.
They're talking about saying like when Freddy's just getting his powers, he just has his dream powers.
Oh, 3? Well, whatever. Yeah. Oh, okay. I got you.
Before I forget it, I got to tell you, like when we were talking off air, the guy I was telling you about, he said that he thought that was a great movie, the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and at that point I realized. I realized.
My personal opinion, I think the movie was crap, though. I think with a better script, Jackie Earle Haley could have been better. I mean, seriously, I think out of all the actors, No way. I'm not even saying in any way could he hold a candle to Robert Englund, because to me, Robert Englund will always be Freddy Krueger. But I mean, if there is a few scenes that I felt I actually could dig Jackie Earle Haley, that doesn't mean I enjoyed the entire thing. I really didn't. There were some parts I was actually face palming and just going, no.
The guy's a great actor.
Yeah.
But he's miscast for Nightmare on Elm Street, because I thought I was listening to Rorschach when he's. I mean, Mike, am I right?
Before I saw Watchmen, that's.
You ever see Watchmen? I know you're not big with superheroes, but like Rorschach.
Actually, I've probably been bigger than anyone in your community with comic books up until a time, and then
it was like a Rorschach that was burned. It was like Rorschach that was burned.
I read Watchmen
back
when Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons did it back in the mid '80s. I read the graphic novel. I've been a big fan of that. Yeah.
Okay, so
you're talking about the movie.
Agree. Yeah, you agree. That was Rorschach, basically.
I saw some. I started watching the movie and I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. It's just a waste of my time. It sucks. Yeah. And I've never Freddy to me like Nightmare on Elm Street 1 is a classic. And 3 is entertaining, but I'm really not a big fan of that franchise other than part 1.
Yeah, I keep Michael Bay away from Freddy and Jason, because I think he did Freddy and Jason. Like
he also had a hand in Texas Chainsaw as well.
Yeah, well, stay away, because I didn't like the reboot either of Friday the 13th with the. I don't even want to get into it. I just fucking hate it.
Well, no, Michael Bay.
You know what may surprise you? That I saw the remake of Fright Night, and I actually thought it was entertaining. It doesn't hold a candle. It doesn't hold a candle to the original at all, but it was at least entertaining for what it was.
I agree with you.
So,
hey, David Tennant was in it, so there had to be some entertainment value.
The way I explained David Tennant's performance, if the Doctor could curse, that would be. Because he basically was like the Doctor, but just rated R. Whatever. So,
But don't you realize, Joe, Michael Bay doesn't care what the fans think. He's like, what do I care? They'll go see it anyway. Literally.
Well, here's the thing. There was a business decision. They had a big table. New Line Cinema, also Warner Brothers owns New Line, right? As you know, that Paramount owned Jason, and they purchased Jason, and it became under their label. So after the Nightmare on Elm Street reboot was made, they had a meeting, and they said, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to do the next Nightmare on Elm Street. And the vote was unanimous. They said, F their own character. We're going to go ahead with another Friday the 13th thing. Okay? That's how effing bad Nightmare on Elm Street was. Okay? With their own mascot, their own person that built their company, they shitted on to go with Jason. That's how bad the freaking reboot sucked. Right now, they're in a state of they don't know what the F to do, but they want to bring Nightmare on Elm Street back. But again, they don't want to keep rebooting shit because people don't like that. So they're trying to see, should we get Robert Englund back for one more go? Should we just not do it?
With the Nightmare on Elm Street, it got so bad that they actually had like Roseanne Barr cameoing in one of the films.
Yeah, that was fucking terrible. That was 6, right? Freddy's Dead, or was that like?
Yeah,
5?
I didn't even make it that far, to be honest with you.
I mean,
I'll tell you, like, I'll tell you to me, I'm going to go over a list of about 20 films here. I'm a huge horror fan, but I'm going to tell you, like, the movies I watch every single year, not even at Halloween time, these are, like, my all-time favorite films, are Dawn of the Dead, My Bloody Valentine, The Burning, The Funhouse, Terror Train, the Halloween franchise, The Prowler. These are all slasher films.
Yeah.
And, like, The Thing, John Carpenter's The Thing,
Absolutely.
Prince of Darkness.
I love Prince of Darkness, yeah.
Yes, these are all classic.
Did you like The Unholy?
God, man, wow, you just pulled one out of like the closet from way back in the day. I remember that's the one with the priest.
Ben Cross.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I just remember
John
I remember
Carpenter's
seeing it.
Thing.
Yes. Oh yeah, well that's like one of the best movies ever made.
I had to watch that for a film class, and that is by far one of my favorite films ever because they never tell you who is infected.
Or even Audrey Rose, Anthony Hopkins.
I never saw that.
Oh shit.
I don't know. Would you classify Silence of the Lambs as a horror film?
It's more of a psychological thriller.
Yeah, psychological thriller. Yeah,
No,
like what's the thing? Spider. What is that Morgan Freeman one?
Along Came a Spider, Kissed the Girls.
Thank you. Yeah, thriller. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like the Evil Dead.
What was the other one?
Evil Dead 2. Those two films are great, and Army of Darkness. I mean, they're Phantasm series. There are classics that are like completely justifiable classics,
Yes.
And like Fright Night, Reanimator.
Right.
You got these films, and like it just seems to like have come to a screeching halt about
Reanimator. Yeah.
No, what really breaks my heart about horror movies is I'm a huge fan of the ones from the 30s and 40s, the black and white era, where it just...
Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, yeah.
Yeah,
me too.
Literally my favorite, if you asked me what my favorite horror film was from back in the day, it was The Wolfman with Lon Chaney Jr., because I felt that with his performance, you honestly felt sorry for this guy, and no other film with a werewolf has honestly made me feel sympathy for a character more than I did for Lawrence Talbot in the original Wolfman. Not even the remake. Oh, go ahead.
There may be a delay. I apologize on my end if there is. I was going to say not even an American Werewolf in London, because that main character was pretty sympathetic.
Oh, I loved American Werewolf. Not Paris, but London, yeah.
I think the thing is, I don't know why, but Lon Chaney's performance in a lot of his Wolfman roles, especially like even some of the more comedic ones. I mean, have you guys ever seen Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein?
Yes, absolutely.
That was a good movie. That is always a tradition.
House of Frankenstein, House of Dracula, whatever it was.
Every time I break out the Halloween movies, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is the first film I will always watch.
But you're talking about Lon Chaney Jr., right?
Right. Not
Lon Chaney.
Man of a Thousand Faces.
Yeah, I was going to say. Yeah, I was going to say his father is actually quite a renowned makeup effects guy. That Phantom of the Opera. Yeah.
That man, genius.
We should. I'm surprised I didn't get to see it. I'm sure that this is probably going to suck, but I'm going to screen share it now. We actually, I think
Scream
you missed.
canceled yet, by the way?
I'm sorry to say that's one of the main reasons we're doing the Hardcast. Scream TV series has been renewed for a second season.
Oh God, people got shit for taste.
Thank you.
Holy shit.
Mike D, we didn't see this, you and I.
No, I haven't seen this.
Why?
But I heard it was decent.
This is the sequel to David Tennant's one, but it's kind of like a sequel / reboot again, I guess.
Okay.
I have the trailer in the chat, but
Okay,
well, the original Fright Night 2 was really good also.
I love it. Yeah.
So wait, is this a reboot or is this a sequel?
I don't really know because I didn't see it. I think it's like a both. It's
Like
kind
a
of weird.
reboot.
It's new actors, but I think it's a continuation. I'm not sure. I don't know what you call it, but I gotta see it. Maybe it's on Netflix. I'll watch it. Babadook, by the way, I told you, right? That was great. I love that.
Yeah, I thought you liked that.
Yeah, I love
I'm
that
surprised
shit.
they had remade Christine with like a Honda Civic or something.
Yeah, Christine.
So since you guys like
Original Children of the Corn.
Maximum
And
Overdrive.
Silver Bullet.
Yep.
I want to see that film because I like Stephen King.
Fucking fantastic.
Which
Oh
one?
my god, okay, I actually was
We
just
know.
watching a review of Maximum Overdrive. It is pretty much one of the most over-the-top Stephen King films you can get. And the thing
Oh, you
was,
directed it.
yeah, what's funny is I don't, my family, my mother loves Stephen King, and we watch his movies, but
Great.
I always find it weird how his taste is, because a film like The Shining that a lot of people love,
Love
he
that.
absolutely despises.
I know. You don't like it. He
I
wrote
wa-
the sequel to it, though.
I watched the film adaptation of Cujo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I was like, oh, I couldn't. I hate horror films,
Really.
and I turned it off like halfway through because I was terrified of it. I was young. I mean, it wasn't like
Maybe you should have the Body Snatchers to make it another one.
But
Hey, good luck in topping the 1978 Philip Kaufman, Donald Sutherland
Yeah.
film.
That was great.
That's like one of my top 50 favorite.
Mine too, bro.
Yeah.
Mine too.
And see, I love the films that have like these nihilistic endings, like John Carpenter's The Thing and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and they hold up. You can watch that movie, and it's not dated. Now, you might look at the clothing on the character and go, "Well, they're wearing something that's a little bit," but the story is like so tight, and it's so gripping, and the horror is like really good that it's not dated. It's not clownish. It's not campy.
I went to see The Thing in a snowstorm. I went to see
I
it
watch it every year
when I was little, and I remember being pissed because I never got to see what happened with Kurt Russell at the end with him and the other guy, and it's like,
Actually, there is a comic book that continues the story.
Well, there's a movie that continues it, right, Mighty?
Yeah.
There was how is that?
Well, David's correct, and you're correct too. Yeah, to pick up where David started with things. Yeah, there's a comic book that Dark Horse put out, Dark Horse comic publication,
Right.
where they rescue MacReady and Childs, those two characters,
Yeah.
and it's like some sort of like Russian freighter, and they bring them on board, and they actually go to like some sort of like.
But
Some
either
tropical
or was
climate.
not the thing, right? Like they
Well,
were
I
looking
don't
at
wanna
each other.
ruin it for
Oh, okay.
I think was Child's
Well,
infected?
well, I'm not going to ruin it for anybody.
I don't remember who was infected.
All right, don't tell me, David.
Yeah, because
yeah.
do you know why I won't do that? Because the thing is such a fucking epic, classic, badass, great horror film that if somebody watches that film that's never seen it and watches this cast
God,
and says,
I
"Oh,
love that shit.
I'm going to check it out," they're going to want to know what happens to those characters after that film, and they'll
Fantastic.
seek out. I don't want to ruin it, but
So
there is
good.
the 2011 film I think it was 2011. The Thing was a prequel that led up to what happened in the John Carpenter 1981 film.
Okay.
You never saw that?
I still didn't see it. No, I know. It's on my list.
I've heard.
You know what, Joe?
What?
It's actually not bad.
Really?
It's nowhere. It's actually. I'm not saying it's on the same level as John Carpenter's worth seeing lead up to that film. It's really entertaining. You're not going to watch and go, "Oh, this sucks." You're going to watch and go, "You know what? This isn't bad, really."
Okay.
It's very much like John Carpenter's original film, and it is a prequel again. So
John Carpenter knows the thing while he's making horror films. I'll give him that.
They're remaking They Live also.
well, that's still timely today.
Yeah.
The
I'm here to
message in
kick
that
your ass
film-
and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
Yeah, what a fucking great line.
That was. That was the longest fight scene in history. Right? Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David really kicked the shit out of each other in that alleyway in that scene in that film. That's great.
And Waxwork, that was a great film. Remember
Mine too,
that?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, those are great little movies. And Salem's Lot, Stephen King.
I love
Salem's
Salem's Lot.
Yeah,
I
I
like
love
that.
that.
That's one of my top. I like that too.
Oh, you want to hear the biggest
Fabulous.
batch of
Well,
idiots?
Entity. Remember the Entity? You like that or no?
I see some of these movies like The Unholy and The Entity and stuff. These are ones that I remember watching back in the day, but I never really went and revisited them. That was the one with Barbara Hershey.
Yeah.
She was possessed and raped by a ghost or something. Yeah.
Well, she was the Entity based. Well, whatever, not possessed, but yeah.
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 I mean, Rosemary's Baby. That came
Yeah.
out in 1968 or something. That's still creepy as shit.
That's me. That's okay. Here's a little history lesson.
And you live right
Ian
down the street
Barrett's
probably from where they shot that. Yeah.
Ian Sherrod's
really?
first movie was Rosemary's Baby back when
What's
we
the
were
name
in
of it?
high school.
Yeah, that particular film, they actually shot the majority of the film at it's a building in New York. I forget the name of the place, but John Lennon lived there, and there are a lot of people. What's the name of the place?
It's called it's right across from Strawberry Fields. It's the Upper West Side. It's called the...
Yeah, it's called the what? That's what we're trying to establish. Yeah, it's the place. They say it's got a curse there. There's a lot of celebrities, like Lauren Bacall lived there, and
Does it curse?
a lot of famous people, writers,
Dakota.
actors.
The
Well,
Dakota.
John Lennon was shot and killed
The
outside.
Dakota.
The Dakota. The
Yeah.
Dakota.
I've seen it. I've driven by it.
So Rosemary and the character Rosemary
see
played
the
by Mia
remake.
Farrow.
Yeah, Mia Farrow.
I didn't even bother with it. It's gonna suck. There's no
Hey,
way. I
Bob,
mean,
Bob,
it's like. Well, I mean, hey, let's remake Star Wars. Let's remake Casablanca. Let's remake Jaws.
You can't remake
Yeah.
Casablanca. That was one of the best. Yeah. No,
Michael,
that's-
Mikey, don't even think about remaking Star Wars. That is blasphemy.
They actually are going to remake Star Wars.
Thank you guys.
Shit.
I am booking the first flight tomorrow.
Sorry.
We'll see you later.
Do you know what you
Wait,
call that? That's called an epic shit.
Yeah.
You can't even get
They,
bigger
they're
shit
gonna
than that.
they're gonna remake it probably in 2027 or some shit like that. They're gonna redo that shit. Yeah.
Nope.
Oh, by the way, congratulations Netflix for picking up the Star Wars TV series. Fantastic. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, Scream got renewed. That sucks. I have the tapes
get
actually.
some taste.
Yeah, I guess I gotta watch. Joe wants me to watch the rest of it. Oh, and Bruce Campbell. I mean, I'm glad that this is happening. Yeah, let me screenshot this. We got a little delay. I think. Yeah, you do got a little delay, right, Mike D?
Probably so. There may be one. I mean,
Like a 4-second delay, maybe? Something
I don't
like
think it's that far.
that. No?
Like, say something and I'll tell you what you said.
I will. Let me take off screen share first. Wait. If you could measure to my mouth, like what I'm saying.
It's fine with me.
I can see you fine, actually.
Oh, okay. Then there's no delay then. But I'm getting an echo from somebody. I don't know who.
I can hear a slight echo, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see.
David. No, I don't think it's you this time. I don't think it's you this time. Oh, it is you this time. Damn. All right. Let me go back to Bruce Campbell.
Shit.
I'll just let you talk, Mike D. You could just...
You want me to speak?
There
Do you know what someone, Mike D, do you know what someone actually suggested for a crossover movie?
What's that?
Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees.
That was an April Fool's joke.
No, someone actually suggested. My friends actually took that seriously, and they're like, "Oh, that could be a good movie." I'm like, "Yeah, think of all the smack talk that happened."
Well, you know what? Like, I'd be on the Mike Myers side, and I know Joe would be on the Jason side. So.
Right.
Who's kidding? No, who are we kidding? We all know how the movie's gonna end up. It's gonna be an hour and a half of them stabbing each other, and nothing is gonna end up being accomplished.
I'm the one that just paid a $10 PlayStation card just to get Jason as a character in Mortal Kombat X. So, which Joe was like, "Yeah, whatever."
He's overpowered.
Yeah, they're up to. By the way, David, they're up to 12 games now. I had nothing to do with the last purchase, but yeah, he got Injustice, by the way. So
yeah.
yeah. So Bruce Campbell. Wow.
I was just gonna say, what do you think about this series, this Evil Dead shit here?
It looks great. I'm just gonna cross my fingers. Basically. I don't know how you could do a half hour, but if they could get it done, okay. I just, from a story point of view, like telling a story, I don't really know how they could do that, but what do you think? Half-hour episodes?
To me, the reason why I love horror is because, like, for the most part, you have unknown actors or unknown actors at the time portraying characters. And that's why I love these slasher films of the 80s, because that's my favorite genre, or like late 70s to mid 80s slasher films, and then the zombie films and like vampire films, stuff like that. Like now you have like so much like commercialization with these franchises, where it just seems like so much bullshit being pumped out, like the Scream shit and Friday the 13th and all this crap that's going on now. The one thing that I think would be cool is Phantasm, because Don Coscarelli, from what I understand, he's not directing this film, but he's having somebody else direct it, but he's had creative oversight over the story. And
what happened with the last Phantasm? Where is that? The last Phantasm?
Yeah, when's that coming out? No, it's not. No, I'd be all over that shit if it were out now. No.
Let me find out. I'll find out right now.
Did you see Trick or Treat?
Over? Yeah, some of it. I still didn't get to see the rest of it. But they're making 2 more right now.
Trick or Treat's great.
I like what I saw of it. Hold on.
You were asking something.
Ravager? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, when is this coming out? What the F? Hold on. I'm on Internet Movie Database. What do you mean June 16th? It's past June 16th. That can't be out.
No, it's not.
There's no way, because I would have noticed that was out. No way.
Yeah.
I would have bought that in 5 seconds.
Yeah, I'll tell you why.
I would have borrowed money to buy that if I even have it.
Our friend John Han said to me about 3 weeks ago that they're going to premiere that somewhere in Austin, and they're going to have some of the cast there, and they're actually going to show the film and do a Q&A. So that hasn't happened yet.
Why isn't there no news about this? Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Well, somebody talk.
Yeah.
Dead silence. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say the film Insidious was actually pretty decent. I like that, and Sinister. I thought Sinister was actually pretty
Sinister
creepy,
was written by a Doctor Who
David,
writer.
I agree with David, and earlier what he said was like, it's time to get all this haunted bullshit, all this ghost shit and stuff like that, and
I don't have anything.
Take on something new.
Well, I mean, everyone's trying to recreate the success of The Exorcist.
Well, there's another Exorcist, and there's another Conjuring, and Annabelle, and all that stuff's coming out.
Well, if they could just burn that fucking doll, I mean, seriously.
Did you ever hear the
what?
rumors that they actually want Chucky to cross over with Annabelle?
I heard that. Yeah.
That's when I know I'm living in a world of like fucking just like stupid shit.
Why
I mean, like Chucky and Annabelle, they give you a break.
Why isn't there an actual release date? What is happening? I'm also a fan of.
That's a good question. When's that coming out? That's a good question.
I'm also a fan of the B movie Full Moon pictures with the Puppet Masters and all that. At one point in time, the last Puppet Master movie, they were asking for money to finish it. And if you gave them like $1,000, you'd be like an executive producer on the movie. So here's the thing. I know we got Kickstarter. I know we got this, right? I think the whole point is that they really don't know how to implement getting this done. So why don't you freaking just ask for money? Because we'll give it. And just put it out.
I'll give them $100, and like 10 of us could donate that, and we could all be producers on.
You know what? Listen. Not only that, if it means making another one, like you and me, Mikey, will steamroll promoting that on Kickstarter and to get another one made in like 6 months.
I'll bankroll that.
I mean, that's in 6 months. We'll do better than that guy that missed the. We'll get it. That's the way things get done, man.
Hey,
who doesn't want to?
Yeah. Hey, we're executive producers now.
Dude, there's a lot of people like us, dude, that like these movies. We can get that out. We could get them to raise money to finish it. I mean, is that what the problem is, that it's not coming out? Because I remember talking about this on the Horrorcast like a year ago.
Yeah. Well, see, now you can be a published author and an executive producer of a film.
If they ever do that again, honestly, if I found out they were going to do another Puppet Master, I would throw money towards that. Yeah, absolutely. 5 seconds. Yeah.
Full Moon. Now they did. I'm trying to think of some of the films they did. They did like Castle Freak, right?
Yes. They did that movie with the Spanish Inquisition. Remember that? Oh, what the hell was it called? Shame on me. I don't remember what it was called. Did they do Serpent and Rainbow, or they didn't do that? No, I'm not sure. Wait.
No,
that
was Wes Craven.
Okay, that was okay. No, but they did.
You're talking about
they did subspecies.
Yes, with the vampire.
Yeah, that was great. And Puppet Master Subspecies.
That's Charles Band.
Yes,
I believe is his name.
Yes, he's awesome.
And I'll tell you another film while we're talking about like kind of lower budget horror films. You ought to check out Redneck Zombies. That film's fucking hilarious. Yeah. I mean, it's really bad, but it's funny bad.
How could we find out what's happening with this Phantasm? I'm upset now because this should have been out already.
They don't. There's no official page you can consult with on there.
Yeah, I got it. Okay, let's see what's going on. Update.
Yeah, just pull up Phantasm Ravager, see what they say.
Let me share it.
Shit.
So this is too slow for me. This has got to get done.
Well, they're finished with the film. They just need to release it.
Well, put it out.
I mean, Angus Scrimm's like about to drop dead.
Listen,
so
do another one.
Do
Another one. Get him in there. Get him in there before that happens.
I mean, I love Angus Scrim. I'm not saying that to make fun of the guy. I mean, I love this guy. He's an icon of horror. But I mean, realistically, he's a really elderly guy. So.
Well, what has the other guy done, Reggie? How old is he? What movies is
That's
he on?
Well, Reggie's cool, actually. I got his autograph.
What other movies has he done lately?
He's been in some low-budget horror films, actually. And he's a musician. That's his big thing.
Oh, okay.
He does music albums.
Oh, I didn't... Oh, well, Christopher Lee there. I know Christopher Lee did albums, too.
Well, he did one. With the heavy metal thing.
I thought he did two.
I know of one. It was like a Christmas thing, right?
I think he
or
did
a heavy
two.
metal thing or something. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. We have to look back. Yeah. All right. So this is basically telling me nothing.
Are you kidding me? There's no release date on there. Pull that back up for a second. Let me see this.
There's.
What's the latest?
This is just like every other damn thing. It's like. You would have, first of all, if you have a website, you're going to put it on the front effing page. Boom! First of all, I wouldn't even have Phantasm in the background like that. It would be Phantasm Ravager. Why do you got, like, only one box or two boxes on that, on the front row? Like, promote the new movie. Like, I see they want you to buy the T-shirt, but how could you buy the T-shirt if nobody knows what the hell the movie is? All these new people.
Yeah, there's no official release date from what I can tell. They just
backwards.
They've got 2015.
Somebody help this guy.
I think what they're probably doing is they're going to have a limited release in theaters and then just release it on video and video on demand sometime in the fall for Halloween, somewhere around that time.
I don't even know if it's going to make it. The way it looks, it's not coming out before September 13th. They would have a release date, boom, on the page. Nothing.
Yeah, but it'll come out after that. Yeah, well, I mean, that's my
ridiculous.
Point, I'm saying. Well, you know, I'm sure it's a lower budget.
Dude, we're gonna. I don't care. We want this out. We're gonna email these people. It's ridiculous. If I could pop out like 10 books in 2 years. Let's get on this. Let's make the HorrorCast something important. You know, Mike D, you and me, let's get on this mother. Let's do this.
Shit.
Get this out already. This probably was made like 5 years ago.
No, no. It hadn't been that long ago. No.
Come on.
They shot it last year. No, they really did. They shot it last year. Yeah.
We were talking about this last year.
I know. They were shooting it as we were talking about it.
Shit. We need that. We need another one besides that. We got to get on that.
Yeah, I mean, like the last movie came out, Phantasm Oblivion. When did that come out? Let me.
So long ago.
Hold on. I remember late 90s.
Shit, that's a long. It was a long effing talk.
1998.
Jesus.
I mean, for fuck's sake.
Right. Dude, I might not be alive for the next two. That's how sad it is. I might not be alive for the next two. It takes like fucking 20 years each.
Somebody's going to have to wheel you and I into the theater to watch the next one.
Jesus.
We're going to be like old bastards by the time this comes out.
Jesus. Get this movie out. Sick of this. Put out another Puppet Master. Let's go, man. It's too long.
I mean, think about that. It was like
It was fucking 13 years before a Friday the 13th movie. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, the shitty
That's
Jason
almost
goes to
20 years.
hell. I'm like,
if
what the
that's
fuck?
1998. If that's 1998 when the last one came out, that's like almost like
shit.
20 years ago. It's like 16, 17 years ago. I mean, shit.
Dude, I'll stop doing this new book and get on this with that. Because let's go. Let's go.
We might get to see like one or two more films. And that's it.
Let's go, man. I don't understand. Jesus.
It's gonna be like Phantasm 5, and you're
Listen,
gonna be like telling your
somebody-
you're gonna be telling your grandkids. Wait, hold on. It's gonna be Phantasm 5. You're gonna tell your grandkids like how you saw Phantasm 2 and 3 in the theater, because they're so far spaced out.
It's like I knew Phantasm where you saw the special effects of the guy walking with a black like tablecloth over him holding the. That was the special effect. He just kind of like deleted him out. He's like holding stop motion, like Gumby and shit, with the ball. Oh my god! Get this fucking thing. Shit. If ever there was a reason to say shit, it's now. Shit. Please get this Phantasm movie out. Do something for your country. Come on, UK. Help them out over there. Come on, Connor.
I
Come
don't
on,
have any interest in horror.
Help them out.
Well,
Something, Connor. Help.
I'll do what I can. I mean, if they need another
Listen,
actor from now.
Anybody out there, I don't care if you hate me. I don't care. Listen, if you're a horror nut, you want Phantasm Ravager, contact these mofos. Just send them money or something. Get it out. Let's get it out. Please. It's nothing worse than someone filming a movie and it's sitting there. Like you saw the trailer like last year and you still don't have the damn movie. Get it out already. Get it out.
How about we do like a horror puppet film?
No.
You know, we
Fucking
like
not doing no
instead of a
fucking
doll.
puppets. No.
Yeah,
Fucking puppets. No.
you can have like a Doctor. You can have
No.
like Doctor Who Bob, like be a horror
No.
villain.
No. Fuck out of here with that.
I mean, he's got nothing going on in his life otherwise. So I mean, like you know,
Dude, is this guy even worth mentioning on the fucking Horrorcast? Shit. Mother
shit.
effer. All right. On that note, please somebody help us. Phantasm Ravager. We love Phantasm movies. You know, I even wanted to talk about the Night of the Living Dead. There was this weird phenomenon. The everybody can make a sequel to Night of the Living Dead now. Did you hear about that, Mikey? It's public domain. Like it's open for anybody.
yeah, it's
to
been
just,
public domain for a while now.
Wow, right? So they actually got.
So hey, you know what? You know what? Let's do a fucking Night of the Living Dead film. You and I. You know, we'll do it like right now. Public domain.
So we can we'll just write a script and just like.
I'll get involved.
Can we get like Tom Savini help us like or something like?
Yeah, Night of the Whovian Dead.
Jesus.
I'll actually get involved in that.
Wow.
I know someone we could use for a corpse.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Here we go again.
Yeah, I know.
Oh God.
What was the word? What was that word from the thing?
I know someone we can. I know someone we could use as a zombie if they're not incarcerated currently.
All right.
Because
The cast has been compromised. All right. On that note,
Shit.
peace.